The following scenario is just one of many that have occurred to MDOT employees which could have had disastrous results if the worker had taken just one more step. So what were you guys doing out here? What was the plan? What was the day? Kind of give me the whole story and the scenario, and let's go from there.
Well, it was probably 7 o'clock at night, and we came out to the back roads because we thought it would be safer, because generally the highway around that time is still very busy. So we came out here to the back road. So in a sense, we felt safer out here. So it's possible we all let our guards down a little bit, but and it was dark, just like this. We had the street lights to help us out. And then the traffic was minimal, but when we actually, just before we walked out the final time, there was like no traffic in either direction. It was pretty much a ghost town. So I think Bob and I felt, even safer yet when we stepped out. Mm-hmm. So I think pretty much our guards were down when we went out that final time to put the patch in the hole. So
you were putting patch into the live lane of traffic from where you were then?
Correct.
Okay.
Right about there.
Okay, so you were encroaching into the next lane over.
Correct.
Now you were right about here?
Yes.
Okay, and then where was Bob at?
Bob was standing just like you're standing, and then I'm standing here, but Bob was a lot bigger than me, so I couldn't see around him, so I had no chance of seeing the car, and of course he didn't have a chance because he had us back to traffic, so.
And what happened then? What occurred?
Well, we were out there for a good 60, 70 seconds, and we just finished putting the patch in the hole, and I had made that first step to turn, and then that's when I got scooped up. I was knocked out, and when I came to, I was 30 feet. I went the entire length of the patch trailer and the truck. I ended up in front of the patch truck. The spotter said Bob went up and then came over and straight down hit his head on a work truck. So he got the worst end of it as far as that goes. So, and then the shovel that I had broke into 3 pieces. So I was fortunate not to break any bones. I just had a goose egg and a sore back, and wrists were hurting.
No squealing of brakes, no honking of the horn, no forewarning whatsoever.
No.
But you did have a shadow vehicle out there. But where was the spotter at? He thought you guys were done?
Yeah, he thought we were done and started walking around the patch wagon.
Okay, so he didn't see anything either to give you guys that warning.
No.
Now, how long were you off of work for that?
For about a week. Not too bad. Mm-hmm. So.
Any lasting effects or impressions or issues being out here doing this kind of work after that incident?
Yeah, I was nervous for a while, even crossing the street in town. Like, my friends would all rush across, and I literally, it just surprised me how it affects how I treated the roads after that. But I'm carrying that through with me now as far as, my safety. So I'm not like paranoid or anything, but I definitely take a second look.
And Bob, though, unfortunately, has never come back to work and probably never will come back to work.
No, he's in bad shape.
Yeah. So what kind of things would you think you'd do differently, knowing what happened? Obviously, you're more attuned to what's going on, but what kind of things would you do differently, or have you done differently since then?
I always make sure that at all times I can see upstream, see the cars coming at me. There's nothing blocking my view. Look back and make sure the spotter's there before I go out. Make sure everything's in place. Just everything, the whole team, the 3 of us are working together pretty much.
Did you change any of the lighting configuration on the equipment after that incident?
Yeah, we added these additional white lights, and that, I think the traffic, the customers can see us better, and we can see the road better.
Do you guys have light meters with you when you're out here doing this kind of work?
Not for the mobile operations. For long-term operations, we'll have the light meters when we're using a light tower. But
did you have headlamps at that time when you were working on that project?
No, we didn't have headlamps.
So now we got headlamps. Those were good changes. It's unfortunate that kind of situation happened to force those changes, but
right.
It's at least the right reaction at this point. So. For working at night, remember the following. MIOSIS standards require 5 foot candles minimum when walking to and from the work area and 10 foot candles minimum at the area where you are working. Be sure to have the right high-vis apparel for the type of work and time of work being done. Have a headlamp to supplement available lighting, and have a light meter to make sure the lighting levels are appropriate. Encroaching into a live lane of traffic is always dangerous, but at night it is especially so. Your work zone may need to be different for nighttime versus daytime, as you may need to have more devices or controls. Make sure your spotter is in place. Never assume the motorist can see you, and be extra cautious if you ever have to turn your back to traffic.